Hello. Today I'm going to talk a bit about images. What made me think of talking about images is that it's Easter Sunday today. And in my mind, I've been comparing some of the images in Christianity with some of the images in Buddhism. And looking at what inspires me and what doesn't. So on Friday, it was Good Friday. And I don't even know why it's called Good Friday. But anyway, the image there, of course, is one of Jesus on the cross with nails through his hands and his feet and various bleeding wounds. And I've always been troubled by that image. It's never been an inspiring one for me. I'm sure it is for some people, but for me it's rather off-putting. There was an image actually in the church when I was very young of Jesus, an image that did inspire me, and it was in a beautiful window, a stained glass window at the top end of the church, and Jesus is standing, a very golden figure. He's even got short blonde hair, and his right hand he's standing. His right hand is extended in a gesture of giving, a bit like Ratnasambhava. In fact, that image would be a very good image for Ratnasambhava. So Ratnasambhava, who represents generosity and beauty, which of course Jesus would have as well. Yes, but the image of Jesus on the cross is not one that I find inspiring at all. But today he rose again from the dead. I don't know much about Christianity, so I'm not going to talk about any other images that come from Christianity. But I was comparing it with the one that we're most familiar with of the Buddha, which we find absolutely everywhere today. And it's of the Buddha seated in meditation. So we see the Buddha in full lotus posture, his hands gently touching each other, one lying in the other, with the thumbs gently touching, and a peaceful, serene appearance on his face. Maybe his eyes are slightly open, gazing towards the ground, or maybe they're closed. And he's dressed very simply in a robe. Sometimes he has a bowl in his lap, his begging bowl. So he represents stillness and simplicity and contentment, those words that we say in the puja, in the 5 precepts. And that image has become so popular today that we find it absolutely everywhere. It's in garden centres, it's in shops, and thousands of people that are not Buddhists do have that image, often have statues or rupas in their homes and in their gardens. So I think that's very interesting that people are drawn to that image. It's a very beautiful image. It's a very settling image. It's a grounded image. And immediately you feel like breathing out, just letting go in seeing that image. We all want to be able to be relaxed and yet aware in that way. We can see that he's aware. He's not asleep. He may have his eyes closed. He may be sitting very still, but actually he's wide awake. And we know the word Buddha means one who is awake. So what is he awake to? Well, he's awake to reality. He's awake to the truth. It's a very powerful image and represents mindfulness, of course, as well. And mindfulness has become so popular. It's everybody has come across mindfulness. It's on apps. Yes, you can learn mindfulness on the website and so on. But much better to learn it from classes where you can really go into mindfulness. And mindfulness does need some kind of context, I think, more than just secular context. And that's the advantage of learning something about Buddhism. What is mindfulness in the context of Buddhism? Anyway, that's another topic. So the Buddha appears in another image that is that of the mandala of the five Buddhas. The five Buddhas. And that mandala teases out all these qualities of the Buddha in different Buddhas, in different coloured Buddhas. So we have Akshobhya, the blue Buddha of the East, deep blue, who is touching the earth. He's the one that most looks like Shakyamuni Buddha. And he's touching the earth. And he represents stability and groundedness, imperturbability. He can't be moved. He's completely stable and relaxed and at ease. And there he is with his mirror-like wisdom, seeing everything just as it is. And then we have a golden yellow Buddha, Ratnasambhava, who represents generosity and beauty, and who sees all things equally. So he's a golden colour. He radiates that sense of ultimate giving. There's no difference between the giver, what's given, or the gift itself. It just everything just flows. And then we have Amitabha in the West, in deep meditation that absolutely flows with love, with passion, but passion for what really matters, not passion for those things that can never give us ultimate satisfaction. And then we have Amoghasiddhi in the north, deep dark green, who represents fearlessness and unobstructed success. So there's tremendous energy there, powerful energy that nothing can throw him. And yes, that fearless quality. He appears in the depths of the night, and that's the time when we're often most fearful. I mean, obviously I'm scratching the surface. There's so much could be said about each of these Buddhas, but right in the middle is Vajraguptā, who's a white Buddha. And he encompasses all their wisdoms, all their qualities, and he represents space and spaciousness. So his wisdom is a sort of ultimate wisdom that contains all the wisdoms. He's very mysterious, I find, Vajraguptā. So a lot of these Buddha images, well, sometimes I think they don't go down in the West very well, apart from this image of the Buddha, because, yes, some of them are very unusual and are more associated with Hinduism. So one of the images that I've been contemplating for very many years, of course, is the image of Thousand-Armed Avalokiteshvara. I haven't got him behind me today. I often have him on the shrine here. So he's got very many arms. The Thousand-Armed Avalokiteshvara. In a way, he hasn't got 1,000 arms. He's got millions of arms. He's got any amount of arms you care to imagine. And they're flowing out in every direction. So they're able to give the kind of help and support to everybody in every possible way that's needed. And he's got 11 heads because he can look in every direction and act then appropriately. He doesn't miss anything. And on the top, on the very top head that he's got is Amitabha's head, who is the Buddha of the Padma or lotus family. And quite mysteriously, he's also got a wrathful head, because actually we need all sorts of energy to overcome our ignorance. It's not just going to happen through compassion. It also needs the kind of energy that doesn't tolerate ignorance. Anyway, I've wandered quite a long way from my initial images. So yes, let's return to the peaceful image of the Buddha, that mindful image. And we need to develop that kind of stillness and contentment at this particular time when we haven't got the freedom to go out in the ways that we would like to. So let's just relax. Let's try and emulate that sense of stillness and practice mindfulness, which is a good place for me to stop today. Bye.